Hey YouTube, I'm gonna start a series. I'm gonna start talking about writing. I already said I would. I'm gonna talk about writing in different aspects, from television to film to adapting a story to just ideas to getting your ass up and writing, getting your ass up to the point where you are writing on a daily basis, on a schedule, or not on a schedule, writing on inspiration, writing wherever you go, whether with the technology out there, you can record on your phone if you have an idea. If you hate to type like I do, using recorded devices really help, but I do like to write freehand. So I might fill up a notepad, but then the ability to record and have it typed almost perfectly. Of course, you got to change it or modify it as you go along because there will be some errors. But I do want to talk about first is the imagination for writing. The imagination for writing. Um, it starts off with imagination. Writing is something that frees you, releases you. You have a lot of pent up things that you're thinking about, things that you want to put together. You have an inner voice, but it's writing allows that inner voice to become a stronger voice and to become a louder presence. And it lasts forever, especially if you do it right. You want to have imagination. That's very important. You cannot write without it. You have to be creative, but even if you're not the most creative person in the world, everybody has imagination. Everybody dreams of something. Everybody feels something that's completely different from the next person. That's why God made us special that way. It's just as different as our palm or thumb imprint, you know. We are individuals that work a lot to pay the bills. We put a lot of our dreams to the side, but everybody has a story. Even if you're not a writer, if you're a cook, you have a story when you're making food. If you're a singer, you tell a story through your voice, and so on and so forth. If you're not even that type of person or artsy person, you have creativity. If you were a woodsman, someone who crafted, made furniture, these things are creative. If you put shelves and drawers and desks together and beds together, there's a mood and a creativity in that, imagination in that, where you would place the items, things that you would only think of, and things that you put your imprint, your touch on. Um, Starting off writing is kind of more like a battle with yourself. Starting off writing is, am I good enough? Do I trust myself? Do I feel like anybody wants to read what I wrote? Do I feel like I have a point of view? That's a lot of pressure for yourself. You don't have to even get to that level yet because you need to write the first page first. You need to lay whatever idea you have down. You could do a outline. You could do that if you're not knowing where you're gonna go. I like to write without an outline. I kind of write in a way where I write off of inspiration, but I only write when mostly I'm inspired to write. So it does take me longer. I have a book out now called Scare of the Light: The Dream Memoirs of Russell Banks, available in stores such as online stores, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and a lot of other online retailers. My website is scareofthelight.com. But I've always written. I started to write at an early age. I would say about 13. The thing is that I was always an artist, so I always drew. So I won all these art competitions as a child and as a teenager, and I would win a lot of money for drawing, and I could draw very well. But certain things happened that made me go into writing. Certain personal family issues, certain dysfunctions that I grew up in, that made me want to have a voice uh, for it. I had something going on in my head, and the words kept bothering me. See, what with me, the words bother me. Like I might wake up and I don't even like to type. I hate typing. That's the worst. You know, it's weird because the words drive me crazy. It's like they flood into my brain at any time of the day, any time of the night. Sometimes it wakes me up out of my sleep. And I just grew to feel like it was the voice of God putting words into my head to spill out onto the paper. I didn't want to be a writer. I wanted to be something else. I like acting. I still want to get into that more. Um, I liked a lot of things that wasn't writing. I was always an artist, but writing plagued me so much that I just started to write one day. I entered some contests and I won those. I started winning competitions in writing, not just competitions in art. I've been sent all around the country at a young age. Um, I I only knew of first class because I won a competition that sent me somewhere and they put us on first class flight. I've been to New York, Chicago. I've been uh, a lot of places where I've won a competition or I had to give a speech, and these are things that I was doing as a child to a teenager. And writing, I didn't know would take over my life the way it has. I really didn't understand. John Singleton, the Oscar nominated director of Boys in the Hood, gave me a scholarship. These are things that I saw as signs that I should be writing. I should be getting into the entertainment industry in some kind of way. Um, it all started with my imagination for things that I saw in my life, how to put it together, how to have a voice. I was a shy person, a shy kid. I was shy because it was always, I felt insecure. I felt like people were better than me. I felt like I had a no no kind of real real power. Basically, I didn't feel like I had any power. You know, I was taught to be quiet about situations and things. Even if I knew some crazy shit was going on, I would act like nothing's happening. I wouldn't show that emotion to everybody. Like I give it to certain people, but not everybody. So people, even now, don't really get a sense to know me or know who I am only because it's really, I've given so much to my writing. I express that through my writing. A lot you learn about me is through my writing. It really is because that's what I choose to give most of my heart and myself to. I'll be cool and polite with you. I'll engage with you. I'll even motivate you. You know, if I see you falling, I'll tell you what's up. But through writing, you could just really express yourself in so many different ways. It's your own world that you're creating. And when you start with your imagination, you can't go wrong. Um, I started to write my first screenplay because I'm a screenwriter as well. I have 9 films that I've written. And the thing is that when I wrote my first one, I didn't know what I was going to do. I started buying books. I started trying to learn what is the format of a screenplay. And I was working at Disneyland and I'll just be dreaming like I always do. You know, sometimes I zone out and I just dream and close my eyes and open them back up, and my reality is still my reality. You know, but through writing and imagination, I'm somebody else. I'm on a plane. In a magical world. I'm solving a case. I'm dressed in a certain way. I'm a certain character. I'm a certain feel or attitude. Um, it's a lot that is involved with the art of writing that you have to learn technically, but I wouldn't let it stop me from advancing to a greater level in my understanding of imagination, how important things are, how prevalent having a mindset that is always there for you within imagination. I wrote my first screenplay on receipt paper, and I thought it was tight after a while because I was like, well, my mission is let me fill up this little receipt paper. I would take a long receipt every night that I worked at Disneyland. It was blank. I would fold it up, and so what I would do is I would write real small, and I will fill one side up, then I'll turn to the other folded side and I'll do the same. Fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. I ended up doing that until I wrote my first screenplay, which was a rough draft called Run to Hide. It was a rough draft because it wasn't polished. The characters wasn't fully developed. I didn't even know what it would look like after the formation or the format was completed. But I perfected it, which I am, I am gonna release a book version of it. I don't know if it's gonna be this year, maybe next year, called Run to Hide. And the thing is that doing that made me see how fun it was to fill up a story in the little lines of the paper and the little ends of the paper. Because if I could do that, I could fill up full pages. I could write anything. And that was just my imagination to get it started, to actually get the words on the paper. Instead of just hesitating and thinking about writing, I actually started to write. It doesn't have to be polished. Like, you just gotta write. It don't matter where it needs to be at, what level you have to be at, because you can change things technically, but if you don't have the body of work there, the story, you have nothing to mold. You can't make it into perfection. You know, you want to get the story out, and that's the main point. If you're a bad speller, write it anyway. Spell badly, and because you know you can correct all that later. But if you don't, if you let that stop you, you won't have anything to correct. You won't have anything to look at. So my point in this video is to use your imagination. I'm going to be talking about writing in other videos. This is like the first video that I just want to get you to write. Put it on the paper. Put it on the computer. Put it on the phone. Always back it up. Save it to multiple email accounts. You know, you never want to lose what you have. I've had ideas that I didn't write down. I could not remember what they are. But I also have a lot of stories that I haven't written that I just haven't got around to doing. Um, it's a part of being lazy, inconsistent. That's truthful. I mean, it takes a lot out of you to write. Sometimes it feels like, for me, it feels like, especially when I have a full schedule, work, and taking care of all this business, and I'm doing all these things and maintaining all these things, I end up being lackluster with my writing. I end up not putting my imagination to my writing, and then that's when I have to stop. I have to refocus on what is important. What is important to express? What's the best way to express it? Um, I want to inspire, but I also want to give you the best and the real information. It's not going to be pretty. Your rough draft is not going to be pretty, but it's going to be yours. It's going to be your story, and you can craft it. You can change it up. As long as you have a story to start with, you don't have to work that hard to make it look polished, make it look like a Hollywood script, make it look like a full book or a full novel. You just have to write. Use your imagination. That's the main thing I want to express. The imagination gets it started. It's the rev and the engine, the rev and the engine of the car, like it really is. That keeps it moving, that keeps it strong, and you just got to do it. If you're hesitating, do like I did. Get some receipt paper, start writing, write your idea down, write a paragraph. Start with a feeling. Try to feel yourself in the character, and what will happen is a different voice will come out on paper. it'll be like, oh, that character is really different from the next because you're actually involved. Your whole passion and heart and soul is involved in it. Um, Follow my Instagram links. Please subscribe. My links are Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all at the bottom, but please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And also, my book, Scared of Light, The Dream Memoirs of Russell Banks, is a fiction fantasy. It's available on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, a lot of online retailers. The ebook is available, the paperback is available, and definitely you hit me up. I do respond to the comments. If you got a question about writing or you need some motivation, you let me know and I'll send you a message. I'll definitely be looking forward to hearing from you, all the writers out there at heart. Even if you're not a writer, if it inspires you to start doing whatever you love to do, you do it and let me know. I want to hear the good things from you. Um, Again, scareofthelight.com has all the buy links, and you definitely just keep watching. We're going to have some more videos, more tutorials, more fire starters for us getting started in writing and doing what we need to do. If you're a beginner, if you're advanced, I have 9 scripts. I have TV shows that I've written, unproduced. The only thing I've gotten produced is Scared of Light, The Dream Memoirs of Russell Banks. Now, when I get that deal that I want, what will happen is you'll see more of an explosion because you'll see all of these projects I've already written and you'll see them back to back to back and you would be like, wow, he's working a lot. No, this is material that I've always written. I've kept going. I kept writing. So I built a lot of real estate in writing, and that's what we want you to do, build some writing real estate. And these are for your future, your dreams. This is not a deal that you got on your first book or your first screenplay. This is a hope for the future, and you just keep on building your empire. You keep setting down your real estate, and you definitely keep building it up. You keep building up what is in you in terms of on the paper, your stories, your ideas, and watch what will happen. Watch what will happen. Once you start, you'll never be able to let it go. And I will never let it go. Um, People distract you. It's things, it's elements, it's reality, real life. Um, Not knocking people that, love their job or love to work regular 9 to 5s, because if you find value in it and that's your choice, you have. But it's the people that have given up on their dreams to do the 9 to 5. They forgot what they wanted to do or be. They thought it was too hard or it was too poverty stricken to try to pursue it. Even if you have a 9 to 5 job, pursue it. Pursue it. Just like me, I make great money and I have a good job, but what fulfills me is different from what my job is. So it's you always want to put your best foot forward, and also writing and being creative with and having imagination also helps you at a job, helps you perform better. It helps you be in tune with the people that you're dealing with, the customers or whatever job that you have. It gets you more in tune because you have an open channel. You're a writer or you're a singer or you're a dancer by night, you know, and you have your 9 to 5 that pays the bills. Don't get it twisted. The 9 to 5 is not it. Is not the end. It's just use it as a tool. Use it as a tool until something else comes along. All right. Again, you let me know. Please subscribe. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what is your struggles with writing. Let me know if you started to write. We'll have a communication. We'll have a conversation about it. All right. Talk to you later. Peace.